up, Cyberland? Back in another one.
He's wise, he will stay away from us.
So, researching, I realized that the reason play, the reason why I can't disarm people when they have weapons and break them is because you have to do a side mission, which I have not been able to finish. Which really sucks, because then if that's the case, then why would you let me upgrade my equipment to where I can use the ability? That's kind of stupid. Um, I would say that is an annoyance about this game. I do feel that if they're going to say, they're not going to tell you that, but they should already have a clamp to where you can't purchase that ability, because there are abilities that I cannot purchase because of certain part of the game, which I'm like, okay, that sucks, but it is what it is. But with this is just stupid to me. This ability right here that I would like to be able to use so I can stop people from using shields or shooting at me, I cannot do because I haven't completed a certain part of a side mission. But then if that's the case, why not just block this off? Because technically, you don't need this to do the rest of this. So to me, that's kind of stupid. I don't feel they should have done that. I feel that that was pointless. But again, that's me. Some other people might think differently about it and feel, well, that's just boring. You don't need, well, you're advanced, so that's why you're able to do it. But I'm kind of like, well, so what? I think with the other Arkham games, they kind of had those limitations on where you couldn't just do that, if I'm not mistaken. But when I get back to playing those again, I'll be able to know exactly for totally if that's the case. But right now, I'm just a little irritated about that because, that's probably one of the best abilities to have in the game when you're fighting multiple people, because it keeps people from shooting at you. And a punch is one thing, but getting shot at, of course, is going to be a lot more damaging. That's just, it's just physics, technically. So, yeah. So I might as well, at this point, I don't think there's really anything I can do, because with Riddler, or I'm sorry, Enigma, most of his stuff I can't really do until I get certain other things done, so I guess I might as well continue the rest of the game. And I'm noticing, too, that, I was quiet really last game. I didn't really have much to say because not much is going on. But I'm also realizing I did really not complete this game as much as I thought I did, because my percentages is extremely higher. I'm thinking maybe because playing Arkham Knight was just not Arkham Knight. Arkham City was just such a pleasure that I think when they did Origins, it was kind of for me a disappointment. I think that's what it was, because Arkham City is probably one of the greatest games I've ever played, and I don't even say Batman, I would just say game, period. The story, and really Arkham Asylum and Knight were just, Arkham Asylum and City were just amazing. Knight I like just as much. I just feel maybe the villain just wasn't as strong as it could have been. I get where they were going with it, but I've never been, I understand Scarecrow and everybody involved in what he's capable of. I just felt he wasn't as strong as he could have been. I also feel the ending for City, maybe they shouldn't have done that. Maybe they should have really done that in 3. Arkham Knight, maybe. Looking back on it now, and I'll probably talk about that later. But that is just a thought. I just feel, not all of Bruce is Arkham. I'm sorry. What's that word again? What they use for? Not all of Bruce's rogues gallery is created equal. Some characters they're all interesting villains, but some villains are just better than others. And it's not always to say, well, the Joker is the best just because, because of this and that. It's just, Whew. Some people would feel differently about it. I understand why he's the greatest, but I also love Two-Face. I also like Riddler. I enjoy those characters as much because of the abilities they give Bruce to kind of work on to make him what makes him great. You know, your hero's only as great as your hero's only as great as your villain, and vice versa. I've always liked that situation about them. Shut up. However, that is, I just feel the way they entered the city, that may have not been the best bet. You know, because moving forward, even though I've heard some controversy with Arkham Knight, I really don't know what it was, because I heard some people say, I didn't like the Batmobile. I'm like, I didn't care. I didn't really care about the Batmobile like that. I didn't have a problem with it. I like getting around using that and not having to use my ability. Yawn a lot using my abilities like I'm doing right now. But I didn't hate it. I enjoyed it. I was able to do both. And I like chasing down people in the Batmobile. Some people, you know, care for it. That's what it is. I know when I completed Asylum back in the day in the city, I got all the achievements. But when it came to Origins and Arkham Knight, I was like, no. This Knight, I'm like, I'm not doing all this because I have to rely on the cards you mentioned. I don't like that. So, I mean, I could really, if I really went to buckle down, I could do it. But I am yawning uncontrollably this morning. I just feel I don't have anything. I wouldn't say to prove. I was just at a different place in life where I just don't want to go through that process again. I just want to get everything in the game, of course, but when it comes to the achievements, I'm at a place where I really don't want to go for all that, like do that extra leap for that. Because when I was young, we were gamers, you know, back in you know, the Nintendo days, because that's really all it was. When you beat a game, that was the achievement. I beat it. Because some games were just ridiculously hard, and I'm pretty sure anybody who listens to this video can concur. Mega Man, that's probably the hardest game I played. However, I heard the horror stories of Battletoads, Ninja Gaiden, Contra. I think that was it. Somebody's acting. Shut up. So these fools are at. But yeah, I think with Origins, it wasn't. I think my issue with it was just certain things were kind of annoyance.
You know the answer. Let me go.
Okay, it's a glitch.
I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry already.
Nope, I can't do anything with that. I think there was just certain elements of Arkham Origins that was more annoying than actually fun to play. And I think the biggest thing was fighting some of the characters. Especially Deathstroke. That I fought that. I remember I was so irritated when I first played this game with that because, yeah, you know, you need a little bit of a challenge, but this was just like, dude, what the fuck, man? I can only beat this dude through doing this combination, and that's where I think was kind of an annoyance with this game is they didn't give you ways to get around. Like it was almost it had to be done this way or it doesn't work. And don't get me wrong, there are other ways to go about things, like, but it's kind of like if you do it this way. Hello, boys. You do it this way, then this is the best way to finish it. I can understand that. Like if you complete it this way, you get it done faster. However, with that situation with him, it was like this is how you beat him. You don't have any other choice, and I really didn't like that. Same thing with fighting Bane. I noticed that too. They got that. It felt like you have to defeat him this way. Whereas the other games, they gave you options. Dang, I'm really messing up right now. They gave you options, and
The tracking signal I saw
I just
was coming
felt
from somewhere down
with
that tunnel.
some of the villains in here, you really didn't get those options like you probably should have. That was kind of an annoyance, because I really did not enjoy the fight with Deathstroke, because you have to, you can only beat him that way. You can't have a brawl with him, or you can't have combat with him. I mean, it was just, you have to do the counter, just counters, and you try to hit him and he counter and keep hitting you. You have to fight him on his terms, and I kind of felt like, okay, this is some bullshit, because Batman does not fight people on their terms. Why would I fight you on your terms? I mean, wits is one thing, but combat is like, no. I'm like, why am I going to do that? Because so then I can get killed? You know, that's just like, that's not. Or maybe there has been times in the comics where they've done that. However, from what I understand, it's never been that case. And I was just kind of like, this is really fucking annoying. So, and the same thing with Bane. I just felt like the other times I fought Bane, it was like, okay, right. With this one, it was really annoying. And of course, the people that developed this game weren't the people that worked on the other ones, and they did a great job. I don't feel this game was just bad. It's a step down from the other 3 games. However, that's because there's not very much to it, maybe, in regards to story, I guess, maybe. I found the other games a lot more interesting, but we do know that when we're playing with him, this one is a lot. I wouldn't say he's reckless. He's just, he don't like to listen to nobody. Like, he doesn't take in anything anybody else says. It's just he just does it his way, and that automatically means it works. And that's not always the case, as we've seen with the other games. He's a lot more, I wouldn't say cautious, but he just doesn't do what he doesn't act rational. He doesn't act irrationally like he does in this one. That's the one thing I noticed. Okay. See, that's what I'm talking about. That shield guy, I can't break the shield. All I can do is take it, like, take him down, but then somebody else can pick that up. I didn't really know. So that's all I can do is...
I will make good use. You don't think you'll win, do you? We are relentless, unstoppable.
Seriously?
Your hands will not. We got you surrounded. Keep. Are you ready?
I felt that was really annoying. And it's cool to have the electrical gloves in here, and I know why they did that, because certain characters, you can't fight them straight up. However, it was just like, you have to... You're doing a prequel, so you need to also keep in mind with doing this prequel that he didn't fight people like that in the other games, so why would they be in here? I kind of felt like... I know they're trying to have stuff in here to not make it like the other ones, but okay, but it's before.
To make a raft.
You know, you would have that in the other ones. You don't have that in the first game where, oh, I can't fight people hands straight up. You would think like, oh, okay, well, can't fight people straight up, but actually, you know, they've gotten smart or something. But this one is like, oh, they were smart way beforehand. They could already do all these things. Like, give me a break. I felt that was kind of annoying. I mean, those guys aren't too hard because I really don't do really hand-to-hand combat with them anyway. I just be like, you know what? I'm just going to hit everybody else, get my ability charge up, and then I'm just gonna break you. Like, just not even fight you. I'm just gonna take you out because you're just gonna be an irritation to me. So let me just get you out before everybody else. Because everybody else, I can jump around, I can hit face to face. This one, oh, he can block. He has this. I can't hit him because he has all this padding. Okay, well, let me just break his arm or break his leg, and then I don't have to worry about him. It's just kind of like.
You are a
Here we go.
sorry excuse for a fight.
Oh, we got two of these little Bane or whatever you want to call them.
I will tear you down. I will tear you to pieces. It's already too late for you. You don't need. Bane will kill us if we fail. I will show you what this.
But the good thing about using the electrical is it's pretty good to. I did like that they included that because it makes it easier for doing the combos and such. So like I just got 100. I got a vigilante, which is nothing new to me because you know I think the highest combo I've done in a Batman game I think was a 210 I think it was, and I think that was it was the endless of course, but I think it was City. City I spent a lot more time with working on stuff, and I remember I did the with Batman. I think I got it was like a 210, and then with Nightwing it was like 200 or 199 or something, and then Robin was around the same, and I don't think I did Catwoman or Batgirl. Because the other thing, I felt Catwoman is great and Batgirl is great. I liked how they do their abilities, but you also have to, because Nightwing, I love Nightwing because Nightwing's one of my favorite DC characters anyway. But the flow of the character can kind of be a little daunting at times because you know, used to Batman, and use Nightwing is a little different. The same thing with using Tim. And I have to say too, I am. I am
My tracking
okay.
device
I
is
did
in
like the
somewhere,
fact of
which
how they
means
treated
Bane
Tim
is likely
Drake in
as
here.
well.
I was happy with that because I feel like to this day Tim Drake has never been treated, he has been given the proper justice he deserves. And I think I stated that in one of the other videos about this, but I was happy with his gameplay and stuff. They had him in here. I thought that was really good.
Some of this
I'm just
research
not
is
a fan
dedicated to
of,
overcoming his own addiction and dependency on venom. He can't survive
I'm just not a
without
fan
it.
of
Impressive work. But it looks like Bane hasn't found a way to
Damien.
counter
I
the
just-
damaging side effects this compound has on the brain's memory centers.
yeah, does a lot more damage than that. Turns into a vegetable. Just sitting around all day. Hmm. 45, 45, 45. What do we got? That's 90. What is that? 90 and then 135, so 135. 325 plus the bar, so 370. He's doing about 370. I'm kind of shocked. I thought Bane would be lifting a lot more. You know? Or is that him doing 370 without the venom? Knowing him, it's probably without the venom.
Alfred, Bane knows who I am. You're not safe at Wayne Manor.
Got it. I'll call the police.
No, I can't risk them discovering my identity as well. Just secure yourself in the Batcave.
What are you going to do?
I'm on my way to you. I'll figure something out. I need to get back to the Batcave, and quickly.
That's one thing I didn't really do in this game too, is run. The way the game is designed is not something you really do. I don't know. I think for this one, I think for the rest when I do these gameplays, like I will probably. Oh
Repeat,
crap!
suspect is airborne in a jetpack, armed with a flamethrower. Multiple hostages on the Pioneer
Great.
Firefly.
Firefly.
He must not know Joker's behind bars, and he's putting those people in danger to get to me.
Delta 6-5 to dispatch. Who's the OIC at Pioneers?
Captain James Gordon is the officer in charge.
I don't know if I'm gonna show gameplay for like where to find stuff, because I just find the stuff randomly. I don't literally say, okay, this is where you find this, and this is where you find that. Like, I just do gameplay to say, hey, this is what I do. This is the game. This is how I play it.
A lot of lives could be at risk at the bridge. If I can hack Firefly's communication channel, I can learn more.
And if the cops try anything stupid, kill a few hostages.
Sure thing. And, how long before we set the timers on the bombs?
Not until the bat shows. We'll wait all night if we have to. There's $50 million riding on this.
Alfred, Firefly has hostages on the Pioneer's Bridge. I need to deal with him before coming back.
Can't you just let the police handle Mr. Lins? Especially in light of what we've just learned.
I can't abandon those hostages. They're in jeopardy because of me. Because of the bounty Joker placed on my head. They'll be safe in the Batcave.
Oh. See, stuff like that, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you know, but I guess it's because he can't open the door, but then what's the point? You know, it's kind of things like that where you don't want to let me in there because, oh, well, the, you know, the gate's locked. But technically, this thing can go through that gate. I can angle it to go through the gate. You know, it's just like you know, you're putting too much into it. You know, it's just a game, but it's just like you give me these tools, but then I can't fully use them, kind of thing, because oh well, it's almost like, you know, I don't know if you would say they didn't think it through. It's just a little bit of annoying. But then I don't know. Maybe I'm a little biased when it comes to this one because I walked in knowing that the creators of the other ones didn't have a hand in this because, if truth be told, they were working on Arkham Knight. So it was. I think it was Kevin Conroy who said it. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'm not part of this. None of the cast is really part of this one." And people were like, well, "Why? What's going on?" It's like, well, you know, they decided to go in another direction, but then I think he said something where people were like, "Oh shit!" Like he said something like, or maybe once the game was halfway done, he let it slip that, "Oh yeah, well we've been working on something else." Well, what have you been working on? He didn't say Batman, but he said something else or something along those lines, and people were like, "Oh, so there is another Arkham game." Because people were like, "Well, why would we have Origins? Why don't we finish up with City?" Because the way it ended, we know it's not technically done, maybe, but or it felt like it was done, and then the truth comes out that no, there's still a little bit of story to do. So. Thank you. At least that one's easier to do than the one where I was on the water, near the water situation. So. You know, and I'm gonna go. I normally will probably not do this.
Get into position and prepare to breach on my order. Do not provoke or engage the suspect. He's got hostages in the bridge sublevel. Just get yourselves into position.
To shoot me. However, I was watching yesterday. This is totally a different topic. And I don't even know if I will even do a review on this. Because I normally don't review episodes. I'm not... I probably will never do reviews of episodes. I will do reviews of something fully. And I might consider this. I'm still kind of thinking about it. Just because I wasn't fully... It was entertaining. However, it wasn't like where I was watching a movie where I could fully get the movie in one or two sittings or a third sitting. Whereas watching episodes of something, I have to watch all those episodes multiple times, and there's only a few shows I'm willing to do that with. Once I watch a show, I'm kind of like, unless it's part of my catalog, like my films, I'm not going to
away from the bridge
go back
so I can
to
approach
it.
safely.
So it has to be really... And it normally takes a few seasons for me to even entertain that part. So I was...
Listen up. The bat is here. It's just one of those stinking pigs. Set foot on this bridge. Set the timer. We'll blow them all to hell.
Gordon would never order a breach if he knew about Firefly's bombs. I've got to stop him before he sends his men into a trap.
Dispatch, this is Marine 4.
I was gonna say, I watched a few episodes and here and there, and then I finally went on and binge and watched the rest of it yesterday. It was the Wu Tang story or dramatization, and it was interesting to see. You start to see a little bit of how things are starting to form with the group, and 'cause at the end of the film, at the end of the 10 episodes, there is no group yet, but you're seeing elements of it, and part of me was kind of like, I felt it dragged a little bit with that, because come on, man, it just felt like a lot of sideshow, just grabbing and just going on and on and on. It's like, come on, man, when are we gonna get to stuff about the group, you know? But then maybe that's what transpired. That's what it was. So it's expected. And I guess probably at the end of it, I kind of felt like it would have been nice to see the group become a group, of course, because the way, if everything's going the way it is, if they're going at the pace they did the show, the 10 episodes on Hulu yesterday, then my theory is that the second season will be about the 36 chambers, possibly, and I mean very possibly, well, the second season would be 36 Chambers album, but first finishing up, like half of it finishing up forming the rest of forming the group, and then the other half of the episodes about the 36 Chambers, and that's it. And then the next season, and then you might start seeing elements of problems within the group that are going to fester it and blow up later. And then you have that, and then if they continue, which they probably will, you then have a third season. Like, each season will deal with, what happened at that time. So the second season is really the group and 36 Chambers. The third season is Wu-Tang Forever and the solo parts, but also showing the fracturing of the group and why the fracturing continued and all that kind of stuff. And then just keep doing that. You just keep going across the board. Each season
Don't
is about...
send in your men. Firefly has the bridge rigged with explosives.
Show yourself. You have a go.
No! Call them back. If Firefly blows the bridge, there's no telling how many will die.
You're the reason those people are in danger. He's doing this for the bounty on your head. Give yourself up.
I'm going to bring in Firefly myself. Don't send anyone else in until I tell you it's safe.
You'll stay the hell out of this. You hear me? Brandon, report.
Captain Gordon, I told you, the only person I want set foot on this bridge is the bad man. That's the again. Things will not go well. Brandon is it.
Damn it. Anyone have eyes on Brandon? All units, maintain your positions. No one else goes in without my order.
It's just I think the other seasons will have that, where you will start to see, so so third season's Wu-Tang Forever, and then the solo parts, and then also the issues that start to arise with new behaviors and people changing and all that stuff, and then fourth season is the W album, but also the pretty much the ending of ODB, because around that time, the downward spiral of him really got out of control, and then you have the Iron Flag, all the issues with that, and then of course, ODB passing away, and OD and all that kind of stuff, and so there's a way to where you can keep the seasons based around each album, what happened around that album. However, okay, is this thing jacked up? Oh, okay. However, I don't see doing a proper fulfillment of that series unless you have the members currently right now fix a lot of their problems that they're having with each other, because there's been so many things going around that one member's not happy about this, one member's not happy about that, Riz is this, Raekwon's not, because one of the biggest problems it's been RZA and then the situation with one of the members. It's always been like that same thing back and forth, and then a little bit of jealousy or a little bit of a lot of ego, and the thing that gets me is when it's your album, fine. You want to do it your way, fine. But when it's a collective album, you guys need to stop having this mindset where it should go your way. It's like it's not the RZA album. It's not the. And honestly, when it comes to producing, let RZA just do his thing. Just let him work. But then also, they said when they did the first album, they were all on the same cylinders and all on the same mindset. However, every album after that, it was always them not getting together and hashing out the songs and doing things, which can't do that. And certain members would say certain things, and other members would say something else. So, and it would show through the work too. Because the reason why people say 36 Chambers is the best album is because what it took to make that album and the work that was put in from everybody. And then it's kind of like, I remember one of my friends said that the issue with artists is that when they first start out, they're hungry, they want to make it, they set the bar high, they do everything they can to make it, and once they made it, they're not hungry, they're fed now, so their mindset of what they're willing to do is more lax. They're not willing to work as hard. They're not willing to be it's almost impossible to be in that same compromising situation than they were before. And I've always, now when I look back on all the artists I listen to, I'm wondering, what you should do. What I think one of the best ways to do it, and that's kind of difficult to say, but it's almost like you should just starve yourself. However you made that album before, the one album that where you had to work really hard, it's almost like you should. What did you have when you made that album? What was your budget? What was your personal budget? Where were you living and stuff? It's almost like to say, well, we weren't living the best, or whatever it was, you should, in order to still have that mindset or that album work ethic, you probably should just put yourself in that situation. It's kind of like before you made it big, you only had this much money. So literally close off your accounts to where you don't have access to them for while you're recording.
One of these guards tell me how many bombs Firefly has and where they are.
Just make it to where you can't, you just don't, you don't have the funds and all those things. You're like how you were with the other stuff, and it's almost like that'll drive you to get out your emotion and probably all your concerns or your issues, and cause you to work harder to achieve what you want because you don't have those things available to you. It's just one way of looking at it. We're done with that. We can have some fun.
Hey, you okay, man? You need some help?
my way. I got that son of a bitch.
Yeah, of course you got me, because I can't move. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take this one. That's the other thing. It's funny too that the other ones, they didn't have all this fucking equipment when you started out with them, but in this one they have all the equipment. It's just stuff like that. Like, dude, come on, man. I'm not saying it should be totally easy, but you know, like the Asylum, they didn't have the stuff to where they could see everything or do all these things, and they didn't get this stuff until City or something. It's like, now so they can do all this. Like, give me a break. I understand you gotta make a challenge, but don't just, like, give them all this shit and they never had it before. It's just, you know, it's kind of like, they have these things, but I don't have the tools that I had in those games, but they have the tools that they had in those games. It's kind of like, that's kind of stupid to me. It's really annoying.
I need to make one of these guards tell me how many bombs Firefly has and where they are.
What are you gonna do with your shit? Huh?
Emergency alert. Please follow the quickest route to leave the bridge.
But of course he's got his friends around him.
No escape this time! I saw him a second ago! Ah, he's on me! This'll flush him out! My lucky day! I don't want to end up like this chump. Do you? Enough already. Let's get this over with.
Alright, now it should be a lot more easier. Now, these little bastards don't have that VR crap. And I got you. Come here.
bombs are on this bridge?
Four! One here, one directly above us, in the bridge sublevel, and one more at each end of the bridge. Those are the big ones. That's all of them, I promise.
Then I promise you a good night's sleep. 4 bombs on the bridge, with the largest bombs at each end. I'll need to disarm this bomb before going after the others.
Like some of this stuff I'm probably not even going to use. Alright, shoot, forget it. Just do that.
One bomb down, now to find the other 3.
Alert. Alert. All personnel should immediately evacuate.
Oh shit. See, I think Bash just put bombs up there so then you get blown up. I think I already came this way. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Let me go the other way. Wait a minute. I think I came this way. Yeah, I came this way, so I gotta go through the elevator. See, sometimes you forget. Slide turns into a maze. Alright. Let's get out of here.
Target hit a gas main with his flamethrower. Fire in the north end. Damn it. I'm remotely engaging the fire door in that section to protect the hostages.
Stand there? Untie me!
You've been after the bounty on my head all night.
Come on! Untie me, you freak!
It was never Sionis. The Joker put up the bounty, and now he's behind bars.
I heard. But I still got a score to settle with you.
I'm giving you the rest of the night off.
Motherfucker.
You took an oath to uphold the law. When I see you again, I expect you to be following that oath to the letter.
Yes. Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
I'll be watching you.
Crooked cops. Trigger button. Okay. Well, ladies and gents, this is where I take a quick detour, I guess you could say, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Ciao.